How does a betta die in water that looks perfectly clean? Because the water can still be toxic and the first killer takes about 10 seconds to check. Test your water. If ammonia is above 0, do a partial water change with conditioned, temperature matched water. This is the first thing I always do when something's going on with my tank. The tank can look crystal clear while your fish is being poisoned. But if ammonia is 0, don't assume the tank is safe. The second killer can change while you sleep, and the third is why some bettas keep getting sick after the medication is gone. Let's figure out what's failing before your fish becomes another statistic. Maybe this sounds familiar. You buy a beautiful, active betta. A few weeks later, it's starting to hide. It stops eating and then it dies. You replace it, you change nothing, and then the same thing happens again. That doesn't mean you are cursed or that the betta is fragile. It usually means something in the setup or your routine never changed. The #1 biggest killer for most of our fish is ammonia. And it's dangerous because you can't even see it. The warning signs are going to be red or inflamed gills, gasping at the surface for air, clamped fins, lethargy, or sudden loss of appetite. Now, bettas do breathe from the surface, so coming up for air is perfectly normal. Living at the surface and gasping constantly, acting like the rest of the tank is lava, is not normal. If you see several of these signs, don't just guess. Test the water. If you notice your ammonia has anything above 0, do a change immediately. But you want to make sure you're conditioning your water with a good water conditioner and that you're temperature matching as close as you can, because even a few degrees off can cause our bettas more stress. Pull back on your feeding a little bit and remove any uneaten food that they don't eat in about 30 seconds. The water change is only going to buy your fish time. If you don't fix why the ammonia is appearing in the first place, it can come right back. And one of the most common causes happens while people think they're cleaning the tank. The 3 most common ammonia mistakes are adding fish before your tank is fully cycled. You go to the store, you buy your tank and betta on the same day. You fill the tank, you turn on the filter, and you assume the filter is just instantly going to make the water safe. It doesn't. Running a filter does not automatically cycle a tank. If you want to get your fish and your tank on the same day, I would strongly recommend you get some type of live bacteria in a bottle or get some used filter media that's already got established bacteria on it from a friend or someone else you can trust in the hobby that you know has healthy fish. Without that cycle in your tank, ammonia is going to spike radically and is going to stress your fish out to no end. Your second mistake comes from a place of good. It's overfeeding your fish. Every pellet that our fish doesn't eat eventually becomes waste. Bettas do not need a handful of food because they looked at you with those little fish eyes. They always act like they're hungry even when they're not. Feed them small quantities of food, 3 pellets at most, and feed them 3 or 4 times a day if you have to. But take out any of that uneaten food. The third mistake is over cleaning your filter media or your tank. Most of the beneficial bacteria lives in our filter medium and on surfaces in our tank. So if you're cleaning that in chlorinated tap water, you are killing a good chunk of that beneficial bacteria that lives in your tank. Now, have I done this occasionally once or twice if I was in a rush? Yes, but I always have other types of material in my tanks that I'm not constantly cleaning everything at the same time. So when you kill that bacteria off, it can cause your ammonia to spike right back up, even though you just did a water change. Now that you know what to check for and what usually causes it, here's what a cycle is actually doing for you. Ammonia is released when our fish produce waste. Uneaten food and decaying material breaks down in our tank. Even your plants do this. In a cycled aquarium, beneficial bacteria processes that ammonia into less harmful compounds. In a new tank, or while our tank is not cycled or has had a crash, ammonia builds up and there's nothing left to handle it. And ammonia burns. It damages the gills, irritates the skin, and puts stress on the fish's internal organs. If you've ever sat around a campfire and the smoke blows in your eyes, picture that, but your fish is living it constantly. In a small tank, dangerous ammonia can build up quickly. That death that looked sudden was not actually so sudden. The water was getting worse long before the fish finally showed you how bad it felt. Here's what you do next. You keep the filter running and rinse the media in old tank water. So when you take your water out, rinse it in water, not under the faucet. And if this is a brand new aquarium with the fish already in it, you're doing a fish in cycle. That's perfectly fine. You just have to be very careful. That means you're testing frequently, every other day or every day if you have to. You're changing water whenever you see ammonia or nitrite appear. Don't just wait and hope the tank figures it out, because your fish will pay for it. If this just helped you catch the problem in your own tank before it was too late, please do consider subscribing. I make fish content easier to understand, and yes, I read every single comment. and I respond to all of them as well. Now there's one thing you can add to help manage waste, lower stress, and make your beta tank more dramatically forgiving, and that's plants. But they're not magic. They will not cycle your tank for you, and they will definitely not fix our next thing, which is unstable heat. So check your thermometer, but not only once. The next killer is not the number you see at noon, it's the number you don't see because you're not watching your tank. So killer number 2 is unstable temperature for them. Bettas are tropical fish. They need warm water that stays warm, generally around 78 to 82 degrees. The most important word here is stays. There are 2 common ways temperature becomes a problem. The first is just having no heater. People keep bettas at room temperature because the room feels comfortable to you. When the water stays too cool, your beta's metabolism slows down, digestion slows, activity is going to drop, and the immune system becomes less efficient, and suddenly your fish just becomes sick. The disease may be what you see at the end, but the cold water helped open the door for it. Temperature swings are the problem here. A small aquarium can lose heat quickly when the room cools overnight. The heater may be too weak, failing, or switching on and off in a way that lets the water bounce several degrees in a day. Water changes create the same problem. You remove warm water from the tank and you replace it with ice cold water. That may feel good to your hand, but your hand is lying to you. It's very bad at judging 2 or 3 degree differences. In a 5-gallon tank, replacing a large amount of water that is several degrees colder can change the tank temperature almost immediately, and your fish has no time to adjust. So what do? Well, you use a thermometer. You don't guess. Use a heater that's designed for the tank size and check the temperature at different times of day, especially first thing in the morning and right before you're going to bed. When you do a water change, match the water as closely as you can before it's going in the tank. About 2 degrees plus or minus is your window here. If your beta becomes lethargic every night, stops eating after water changes, or seems active one day and shut down the next, check your temperature patterns, not just the number you happen to see at the middle of the day. Ammonia can burn our fish, but temperature swings are what weaken them. And killer number 3 is the reason why a fish can improve with treatment and then get sick all overnight again. By the way, I keep all my useful fish links together in the pinned comment. Plants, aquarium supplies, equipment I've used, website, merch store, the rest of everything I do, it's down there. So check it out when you have a chance. Killer number 3 is just chronic stress, and this is the one that connects everything else. Your aquarium contains bacteria, parasites, fungi, even when your tank looks clean. A healthy fish can usually handle more exposure without getting sick. A stressed fish cannot. When stress keeps the immune system suppressed, problems that fish was already holding back suddenly take over. Fin rot appears, a parasitic outbreak occurs, a bacterial infection takes hold. Then you treat the disease, but you never fix the reason the fish was vulnerable in the first place. Medication's gonna end, and then the fish stays stressed and the problem comes right back. So don't only ask yourself, what disease is this? Ask what kept the fish stressed long enough for the disease to take over. What stresses a beta? The usual suspects: an undersized tank, poor water quality, no hiding spaces, aggressive tank mates if you got them, a filter current that throws the fish around, leaving your light on too long, and a reflection that makes the beta flare constantly. Even the location matters. A tank that's beside loud music or a slamming door or constant heavy foot traffic will keep your fish on edge. One stressful event is not usually the problem. Chronic stress means the fish never gets to relax, and it's always cold, it's always fighting the current, always staring at a rival in the glass, or always trying to hide from another fish. And the fix doesn't have to be overly complicated, but it has to be consistent. Give your beta enough space, keep the water clean and warm, and make sure it's covered and has resting places. Use gentle filtration. Give the tank a normal day-night cycle if you have plants. Choose a capable tank mate, or keep your beta alone. Some just aren't made out to have mates. A beta that can relax has a stronger immune system. A stronger immune system means fewer diseases get a chance to take hold and become emergencies. It's time for a quick honesty check. Have you ever lost a fish to something and later realized it was presentable? Put it down in the comments, no shame. Chances are you're gonna help someone out. Here's the part I really want you to remember, if nothing else. These 3 killers do not work separately. Ammonia irritates and stresses your fish. Stress weakens the immune system. Unstable temperature adds more stress and can make illness harder to fight. Then the fish gets sick and everyone focuses on the disease instead of conditions that allowed it to happen. So when your beta's declining, check the fundamentals first. Zero ammonia, stable tropical temperature, and an environment where the fish is not living in constant stress. It's not luck, it's an ecosystem. If you remember nothing else, remember this order. Test your water, stabilize the heat, and fix the environment. That's going to remove the conditions behind a number of premature betta deaths. You can find my full betta care list on screen now with all my betta videos in one place. And if you want to support the channel, the merch shop, and the rest of my content, the link's below. I'm Lefty, embrace the chaos, and I'll see you in the next one.